Hey everyone, welcome to Illegal Alien Racing. We're going to change things up a little bit on this one. You're going to ride along with Justin as he starts from pole position for the Rental Kart League Final at Dallas Karting Complex. Quick shout out to Swirly, whose real name is Cooper. He sent me a message on YouTube asking for a shout out, so here it is. Before we get the race started, I want to introduce you to who Justin is, since you may not be familiar with him, and also Kart Rage, since he's going to be in the video a little bit. So this is what these two guys look like. Say hello to Kart Rage.
How y'all doing, guys?
If that the guy's not from Texas, I don't know who is. How did you get the name Kart Rage?
Well, you know, you bump into me and it just pisses me off, and I just run into you and knock you out of the field.
Dude, look! In case you're wondering, that's a real mustache. That's really cool, dude. I need to grow one. All right, so that is Justin and Kart Rage, who I believe has started in second place. And green flag, here we go. Justin's going to try to keep this down at the bottom and protect the inside, which he does successfully. And he's leading the final race here. We'll watch to see if he goes defensive with his lines or if he tries to just go regular lines. These first two laps, first lap, maybe two, you're kind of figuring out what kind of kart you have in relation to the other karts around you. You know, are they faster on the straightaway or slower? Or are you faster? So it takes about a lap or two to figure out, given who's around you. That is Kart Rage to the inside there, and you can kind of look at shadows as you're driving on the track and help you see if someone's beside you or trying to make a move behind you. You can hear a little chatter here and there in the background. Justin and I are talking back and forth through a mic system in our helmets. It's designed for, I think, motorcycles, how I found it, but it works really well for karting. It's called a Senna, and it's spelled S-E-N-A, if you're interested in that. I bought mine on Amazon. So the footage I showed you of Kart Rage, that was from a couple of seasons ago. He was a pretty rough driver a while ago, but he's since cleaned up his driving. For the most part, he did a little Bristol bump and run on me in the pre-final. I showed you that, but he doesn't just smash into the side of you or anything like that, kind of like he used to, which is really good to see, people racing like that. All right, so Justin's kart looks fairly strong. And you're trying to figure out if you have a Red Bull, a Ferrari, a Mercedes, an Alpine, a Haas, or maybe like a Williams. And he definitely doesn't have a Williams, because he would have been passed by now. And those are Formula One team references if you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you don't follow Formula One, and if you don't, you should watch Drive to Survive on Netflix. It's a really great series about Formula One, and you will thank me later, I promise. All right, looks like he's getting, yep, there's Kart Rage to the inside. Let's see what happens here. Justin wants to keep the kart wound up. He doesn't slot in, he tries to keep it wound up. It's a little bit of a bump, which helps him right there, and a Sergio Perez-like move dives right back into the lead in turn two. He does not give up. Nice driving by Justin. Also, I'm going to compliment Kart Rage on his driving. He didn't just smash into Justin there, so very clean driving. It's been my experience that if you race up front, you tend to race with cleaner driving people. As you fall further back in the grid, it gets a lot rougher. Justin goes defensive here, going in the middle of the track, trying to protect the inside. You see a shadow there. They back off here. Now Justin on his right hand, he is wearing like a little splint on the very last digit, I guess, of his middle finger. He can't bend his middle finger in the very last joint. He injured his hand and has to wear a splint, which prevents him from making a closed fist. So he has to deal with that. You'll kind of see him. It looks like it's bothering him. See him right there. Takes his hand off the wheel, so that has to be kind of hurting him a little bit. And I'll let you guess as to what happened, how he injured it, and I'll come back later in the video and tell you how he injured it. I don't think you're ever going to guess, but it'll be funny to speculate. He's doing a real good job here. I remember there was about 5 cars right behind him in a line wanting to take the lead, so he's got to try to manage the lead here. And given that he hasn't just pulling away from everybody, you know, he doesn't have the fastest kart in that group, so he's going to have to do something here. Now there's a really long straightaway here at Dallas Karting Complex, so it's really hard to defend because a lot of times people that have a stronger engine on the straightaway just pass you like nothing, and there's nothing you can do about it, which can get pretty frustrating because it doesn't take any skill to pass someone in a straight line when you have a faster engine. Now that's not a knock on anyone that has a faster engine, it's just the reality of it, the way I see it. Kart Rage is showing a lot of patience here by not just trying to go for every move, assuming that he's right behind Justin. All right, we have a driver to the right here. Let's see who that is. Let's see if they can keep it wound up. And they do, just like Justin did at Kart Rage, and that is Jake in the number 17 cart. Jake's a good driver, a clean driver. I think a few seasons ago he finished 3rd overall in points, so Jake definitely knows what he's doing. I like to work with him when I'm on track, if I'm able to. All right, he goes defensive again. We're going to look to our right here. There's Kart Rage, and then outside of him in Kart 30 is, I think he goes by Mullet Man in Kart 30. That is the fastest kart in the fleet. So it's like having a Red Bull on constant DRS. It's a fast kart, and Mullet Man is a good driver. He knows how to wheel a kart around the track, so he definitely can take advantage of the strong engine there. You see him, just how far they pulled away in a short period of time. So he's going defensive. He knows that he can't win the race. He just doesn't have a winning kart, given what kind of how the race is unfolding. So he's doing a good job here of just trying to defend what he has. He's in the contention for the championship, so finishing 3rd is not a bad deal. So like if he tried to catch the leaders and just race regular lines, he's leaving himself vulnerable to an attack from Kart Rage or anyone else behind him that maybe sees an opportunity, versus him going defensive and making the person behind him work a little bit more to get around him. All right, so before the race ends and before I forget, Justin injured his finger, not playing, but warming up for a kickball game. That's right, kickball, with the big red rubber ball. His girlfriend plays in a kickball league, and they needed a couple of guys to play because I think they were going to be short. So she invited him and me to go out and play and fill in. And I was tossing the ball to Justin in warm-ups and just kind of warming up. Hadn't played kickball in a while, and he injured that last the end of his finger there, that last joint. It's kind of funny, but unfortunate too. So he can't drive his regular club kart, his 100cc kart, until his hand heals. I think it's like a 2-month injury, believe it or not. Can't make a fist for like 2 months. Nice lines through that section. A lot of people, it takes a while to get that section down. All right, he's going to go regular down the straightaway. You see him taking his hand off. Of the steering wheel, his right hand there. It looks like he's kind of looking behind him and seeing if there's someone right behind him or not. There's no reason to go defensive if there's not somebody close enough to try to challenge you for your spot. All you're going to do is slow yourself down. All right, there's someone to the left of him. He's getting a little bump there in the back, looks like. You can tell kind of how his head moves, so he's getting a little bump. Able to defend there. Almost got challenged pretty good there. Looks like his finger is bothering him. He keeps paying attention to it. All right, he goes defensive. You see a little shadow to the right. Let's see who that is. Yep, we got someone challenging, and that is Kart Rage himself. Let's see what happens here. Kart Rage gives just enough room, and he keeps it wound up on the outside. There's another kart's involved. Now he's going to take third place from Justin. Nice move there. Kart Rage. Justin there does the real mature thing, doesn't just try to stick his nose in there and get the spot right back. He didn't have it. He just got right back in line. He's going to try him later. It looks like they probably have equal karts. We'll see here on the straightaway kind of how the karts are. If Kart Rage is stronger than he is on the straight. Doesn't really appear so. So Justin has a shot at getting a spot back. All right, sets him up for an over-under here. Let's see if he can beat him to the corner, if he can clear him. Does not, but he keeps it wound up, and Kart Rage, to his credit, gives him enough room, and Justin takes his spot back. Very nice move by Justin there. Very nice racing again by Kart Rage, giving him, being respectful and giving him room, just doesn't run him up the track and into the tire barrier. So kudos to Kart Rage. I may have to change his nickname, but I really don't want to. Maybe I should have some Kart Rage merch with his face on the front. All right, we got a caution flag here, so you cannot pass in turn 1 until you clear the caution area. Let's see how long that lasts, and that is... I think there was a caution there before, I just missed it. We're on the last lap here. And he's bringing it home here, and third place. Nice finish by Justin, and moves him up into second place overall in points, 1 point behind the leader, so he is right there in championship contention. Thanks for sticking with me this long on this race, and we will see you on the next one. Y'all take it easy.